Hey everybody, hi, how are you? Cheryl here with cardsbycheryl.com. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel today. You have found me in my craft room. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Gladwin, Michigan, and I'm here today to talk to you about Paper Pumpkin and the October 2025 kit called Cozy Christmas. So without a whole lot of fussing, let's take you to my desk. All right, so I'm not going to walk you through the whole unboxing because there's a ton of people that do that, and I would fast forward through it anyway. But so if you're interested in the whole unboxing part of this video, just Google it on YouTube. There will be a ton that show up. So the reason I'm doing these videos, one of the reasons I do these videos every month is because I like to show you alternative ways to design using the kit, and then show you not only can you design the cards as the cards were designed, you can take your supplies, past the point of once you've used all the consumables from the kit, you can still keep creating additional cards if you just add a few supplies of your own to the stash. So what I tend to like to do is I like to create outside the box. And sometimes the cards, I love them so much as designed that I don't even think about doing alternates. I just make all the cards, and I love them. The Farmhouse Florals kit was the same way. I absolutely loved that kit, and I didn't want to mess with it at all. I just put them together as they were designed. But this particular kit, I wanted to, kind of step outside the box a bit. And so today's video is going to show you all the different cards that I created. I'm going to be honest and say that the vintage vibe of the flocking paper, and it just wasn't kind of, it's not my jam. So I was even more inspired to take the parts and pieces of this kit and go further with it. So in order to do that, I really utilized the coordinating die set that you can add on to this kit. Now this die set is an add-on, and it's good for 3 months worth of kits. And so this one is coordinating with October, November, December of 2025. It's called Abundant Joy. The dies, once you cut them out, look like this, and they coordinate with the kits. So these dies will also coordinate with November and December card kits. So the good news is, if you are not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you would like to become one, I would compel you to subscribe from me, because I give all of my subscribers a free add-on die every quarter. So that's my gift to them as a thank you for being a loyal subscriber. And I order a bunch when they are available. I have them all shipped to me, and I make a pretty little handmade card and slide these dies in there and put it in the mail to you. And then you can create with using these dies forever, as long as you want. They don't even have to be just for the Paper Pumpkin. Obviously, the joy and this tag could be used many Christmases to come. The tag could be used for birthday tags. It's a good value for $12. You can't beat it. And pardon me, I will give it to you for free if you become a Paper Pumpkin subscriber under me. So that was a lot. Okay, so let's jump into the cards, because that's really what you're here for, right? The stamps that we're going to use are the stamps that came with the kit, and then the die set, and then of course the card bases and the components that came with this kit I'm going to use too. The inks that I'm using, if you're ever curious about what colors coordinate with the products, it's on the very back of the instruction sheet, and it says coordinating colors. So I picking up Garden Green and Real Red to use on my cards. I do use a little bit of Pecan Pie. That's the one that comes with the kit, so you get a little Stampin' spot that comes with the kit, and I am going to use a little bit of Pecan Pie too, but for the most part it's the Real Red and the Garden Green. Okay, so here's my first card, and it's not a huge deviation from this one. I guess it is, because I didn't use any of the brown, and I cut apart the joy letters. But basically, I wonder if I should zoom a little bit more. Basically, what I used here was the card base cut in half. So in the kit, oh, that's zoomed in too much. So in the kit is a card base. I cut it in half. I used one side for the front. This is on a basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then for the front, for the decoration, inside the kit is a die cut that looks like this. Actually, it looks like this when you hold it upside right. And then there's more red die cuts. I used all mine. So each of these letters, J-O-Y, are separate die cuts that you then glue on to the front of this piece, and then you hand stamp to the world. So it will say joy to the world. And then and then you adhere your piece down. I didn't, like I told you, this flocked stuff was not really doing anything for me. So I fussy cut this. I glued the joy down, and then what was left I fussy cut out. So I basically just cut away this strip here, and then I cut away the floral pieces, and I just made it nice and smooth around the edges. To the World is just a piece of basic white, trimmed down and the ends flagged. And then the greenery came from this die right here. And also the little red berry sprigs came from the die set. And then the red embellishments came from the kit. Oh, and this green piece. So here, so I cut up all my card bases. I basically don't ever leave them intact. That's one of the first things I do when I'm designing is I grab each of the three and cut them in half, and so that I have them to use as like designer series paper. So I cut this one in half, and then I cut a 1-inch strip, and laid it behind this panel. This panel is also from the kit. It looks like this. It's got some texture to it, and not texture and feel, but print, I guess. It looks like linen. And I die cut this component out using the branching out dies, which looks like this. And I used the biggest one. So this guy right here, the very big one. And I just ran that through the die cut to give it a little bit of interest and design, on the edges. So there's my first card. And then I decorated the inside. I add a second panel with a little green strip just to carry the design through. Merry Christmas. And then these little starburst things came, these guys right here is what I used to just stamp around that for some interest. So there's card number 1. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, card number 2 was interesting because, let's see, I want to show you. Oh, shoot, I don't have, do I? Yeah, I do. Okay. So this is what the die cut looks like. And then you apply it to a background piece. Oh, goodness, all this is falling out. Hold on. There's a background piece that I also didn't like. You guys are probably never going to watch my videos again. They're like, she doesn't like anything. So this is what the background die cut looked like. And you're supposed to put this over the top of it like that. And then there's a pretty little ornament hanging thing with some greenery on it. I didn't like it. So I thought, well, I'll flip it over and I'll use the white side. And I'm like, well, that's really boring. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if we had something shiny, like cellophane or whatever to put underneath it. And so instead of having this underneath it, it would be like a shiny film to make it look like a bauble, an ornament. And then it popped into my head that for Halloween, there's a bundle out called the Spooky Sweet bundle, and it comes with these iridescent treat bags. Here they are. So if you bought that Halloween bundle, there's these treat bags that came with it, which I haven't used until now. And they're very sparkly, iridescent, but they do not go with red and green, right? They just don't. So, but I was like, oh, this would be really cool if we could put the ornament over the top and then do some. So anyway, long story short, here's the card I came up with. So I went with Petunia Pop because this iridescent film is very pinky. When you look at it in just the right light, it's very pinky. So here's an up close look. See if you can see the shimmer on it. So it's kind of cool. It's very non-traditional colors, but it turns out Petunia Pop and Garden Green actually look pretty good together. So I added my own Petunia Pop paper here. This is just a basic white cardstock card base. I hand blender brush blended Petunia Pop onto this ornament here. So I got that nice bright and pink. And then I took the back of this and I stamped it with that Starburst stamp in Petunia Pop ink to put that in there. And so then I sandwiched the two together with the layer of film in between like this. And then I just snipped it around, just trimmed it all off, and added the topper. So now the topper has a bright red bunch of berries on it. Also did not look good with the pink. So I took you guys are just like, man, she's crazy doing all this work. I took this paper punch and punched out 3 white punches, did it 3 times, took the punches and glued them down on top of the red dots so that you couldn't see them. And then I added these little iridescent droplets. And if you ask me where those are from, I will have to tell you that I'm not sure. I don't even think they're current. But I probably do have them in here fairly handy. But you can use whatever you have on hand. It doesn't have to be those particular ones. I chose those because those kind of have an iridescent, yeah, of course I'm not going to be able to find them right away. Those have like an iridescent shimmer to them, which I just thought looked nice with these. So I totally covered up the red berries with that. Another piece of the green strip I used. And then this star is the star that goes on top of the tree. I flipped it over to its backside and I laid it right down in my stamp pad so that it soaked up all the ink. That's how it's why it's pretty much a lot darker. And let it dry, and then I put a embellishment on the top. But the other side of this star is bright red, if you can see. So that's that. And then I forgot that there were sentiments in the kit that I could have used for the Deck the Halls. Like I could have used that, but it's kind of beige-ish, and it didn't look right with the white. So I just cut my own white strip and used the Deck the Halls stamp and flagged it. And there's my non-traditional colors ornament card. So cute. Somebody will like it. I have a lot of Christmas cards to make this year, so all of these are going to my card stack of recipients. So get that. Okay. The third card I did looks like this, and I used the branching out dies again. This is plain white cardstock and also another white card base. I used the other half of the red card base on this one, and I die cut the red card base with the branching out die. So I had that outline, and then I die cut the white piece with the same branching out die, and I inlaid it. So it's totally flat. Can you see that? So it's not bumped up. It's not a layer. It's like inlaid into that opening. So, but before I did that, I used the Joy stamp, and I just did some repeat stamping. That's with the pecan pie. The Joy here is from the dies, and this tag is also from the tag die, but there's a piece in the kit that looks like this. So I die cut this tag from this paper. You already know about the greenery, how that works. So yeah, this was card number 3. I love to do repeating words like that. I just think it looks cool. Okay. Card number 4 is a fun fold. So I don't think I did this right, because I think when you do it right, these corners are supposed to line up with this edge. You see how mine doesn't line up right there? So I think I should have cut this differently, because this edge is, lines up good, but this one doesn't. But anyway, I used the ornament as designed. I just made it into a fun fold. So I thought that was kind of cute. Nothing really fancy about this one. That's the same sentiment strip. I did cut off the little topper. So there's like a string, just because it was going to get in the way up here. So I just cut it off and then added some embellishments. So there's that one. Card number 5, I wanted to do kind of like a clean and simple, fast, quick and dirty card. And so it looks like this. So this is just a couple of strips of the card base papers. The tag came from the dies. I used the star stamp, this guy right here, and stamped in real red all over the tag. So it's kind of two-tone. Can you see that? And then Merry Christmas got stamped on the blob die cut that comes with the kit. So really super quick and easy. And then just stir sentiment inside. So there's that card. And then my next card, I cut up the envelope. And so my next card looks like this. And if I were going to do this card again, I would shift this edge up to the top and not have this white showing up here. I don't know why, just after the fact it kind of bugs me. But this is the envelope flap from one of the envelopes in the kit. So I basically just cut this off right there, and then I trimmed it to fit on. So you cut all the edges off, so this becomes a whole piece of designer paper. You cut this off, you're using this on the card, and then you cut this down to 4 by 5 1/4, and you use that as your layer on the card. So this envelope, this gets used and this gets used. And then I popped this piece up with foam dimensionals, and I used those are the die cuts from the kit, so I had to use those 3 on this, more die cuts from the coordinating add-on set, and then this is linen thread, and I just did a cute little bushy triple bow there for that one. I actually really like this card. And then the Happy Christmas I took from a different stamp set. So I tried to put To the World down here. I just didn't like how it looked, so I just left it as Joy, and then I put To the World inside. Okay, so there's that one. And my last card looks like this. And I really like this one too. I thought this was fun. So I cut 3 tags using the dies out of just plain white, and then I used green, pecan pie, and real red, and stamped the stars all over it. I used the last set of Joy, because you only got 3 sets of Joys of the red cardstock cutouts. So I used my last set on this, and then the greenery. Basically, that's a red card base I cut in half. Same thing with this. And then I used linen thread, and I just kind of strung it through the tags, and I popped them up with dimensionals. So the tag is on dimensionals, and the actual letter is on dimensionals, and then that's just basic white stamped To the World. This is a garden green card base too from my stash. And then Sending Christmas Wishes. So that is my set of alternates for this kit. I have my Zoom meeting next week with my group, and I'm sure we'll come up with a few more while we're doing that. But let's see if I can get these all in. I might have to zoom out a little bit. There. So get those out of the way. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what my favorite one is. I really like this one. I really like that one. But they're all going to get sent, so that's good, right? Which one's your favorite? Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions. Just as a to reconfirm, I would love to have you as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber on my team. I'm not pushy at all. If you don't want to do the Zoom meetings with me every month, you don't have to. Sometimes I have two gals on with me. Sometimes I have 4 or 5. So it just depends. And we have a good time. If you don't want to show your face or you're shy, you don't have to be on the Zoom camera. You can just log in and hang out with us and do your own thing and just watch us. You don't have to be on screen for us to see you. Although all the other gals pretty much put their cameras on. So anyway, we have a good time. It goes for about 90 minutes or so, sometimes longer. We can get to be real chatty at times. And I love to kind of keep you all in the loop on things of what's going on with Stampin' Up! Or what new specials are coming down the line and that kind of stuff. So it's a double platform for me. So I love to share my tips and tricks with you all on how to put these cards together, but I also kind of keep you informed on what's going on in the stamping world as well. So sorry, that was phone call just came in. So yeah, so that's it. So just drop me a line if you're interested in joining up with us, and even if you're not one of my subscribers and you want to join us, I would love that too. So I'm not going to be fussy about that. Just drop me an email. You can get me Cheryl@cardsbycheryl.com, or you can put a message in this comment down below, and I'll reach out to you and we can private message and figure something out that way. So okay, that's it for me. Thanks everybody for watching. If you're still sticking around, I appreciate it. And don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video with somebody else who might be